being a wife, but let me tell you something. Being a wife is making sure you have the soap powder. Being the wife is making sure you might throw those clothes in the washing machine. Being a wife is not coming to pick up your drawers after you. That is
Amen. Who said you had to pick up the drawers? Y'all want to go. This is my point here with that. Yeah. We always act like that's such a big thing. Like, I know, especially for the women. Wait a minute. Especially for the women that got kids. Y'all should be cleaning the house anyway. Y'all should be cooking anyway. So you cook.
Great catch. I'm a great wife. I'm a great this. And it's like that hasn't been validated.
All these single girls are yours too. I don't know.
The one thing that I'm seeing is that when you're dealing with a grown-ass man,
there it is.
He has a vision and a purpose for his life.
Thanks.
What he wants in the future. And what I see is that a lot of these modern women don't want to fall into and play their part in that purpose and in that vision because they have their own purpose and their own vision. Mm-hmm. Not sure responsibilities to motivate a man.
Right.
A man should have his own motivation, his own direction. Your job is to inspire. It's a complete difference. I think a lot of ladies get a man.
What's good? What's good? Welcome back to Kandid Konvos. I'm your host, Quay Price. We got Chloe on deck. Say what's up to the people, Chloe.
Hey, everybody. Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Yeah, y'all got me over here on mute. I'm over here saying stuff. It's all good. Shout out to y'all for joining us tonight. Hey, everybody who's watching right now, do me a favor. Hit that like button. Smash that like button. Hit that share button as well if you feel so inclined. I said shout out to all my YouTube folks in the building. Hit that subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Well, man, we back on another Wednesday for another show. Yeah, I know folks is probably getting ready for their 4th. It's probably a little sipping going on, a little cooking going on, whatever y'all got going on tonight. But shout out to y'all. I know y'all were all ready to get it in. I think everybody ready to get it in. But like I said, we always appreciate you guys holding us down every Wednesday night. But definitely, like I said, hit that like button for us. Hit that like button. All right. So let me do this real quick while I'm thinking about it. All right. So here's a link to join us on the panel. You can drop this in your Google Chrome, your Microsoft Edge. If you're coming into an Apple device, you have to use Safari. But yeah, join us on the panel. So you do have the ability to cut your camera off if you choose, but, keep your camera on. Join us on the panel, Let us see your face. Plus, I should have saved you a little typing as well, when you're dropping them comments. But in addition to right here in the video feed, we also have this link in all of the chat feeds as well. So you can catch it at the Kandid Konvos page on YouTube or Facebook. That's Kandid Konvos on YouTube or Facebook. Or you can shoot us a message and we'll get it to you that way as well for all my Facebook folks. So yeah, here's the link right here. We'll leave it up here for a little bit as we get into the conversation. think that's JR checking in. What's going on with you, JR?
Happy Wednesday, everybody. How's everybody
Happy
doing?
Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. How you doing, man?
Nah, I'm all good, thanks. I'm all good. How are you lot being?
Doing well, doing well, doing well.
Nah,
Are we just
that's
getting
all
started,
good.
man? We're just getting started.
Nah,
Hold tight
thanks.
for a minute.
No worries.
All right, cool. All right, so let me see what we got checking in. See what we got checking in early. Let's see. Kenyatta in the building. She said, "Happy Wednesday, everyone. Happy Wednesday, Kenyatta. Appreciate you holding us down tonight. I know this is probably party night for a lot of folks around here, but I appreciate you holding us down tonight." Shout out to Donovan. He said, "What up, though? What's going on with you, brother? Appreciate you hopping on with us tonight as well." All right, so I'm gonna drop this link for a minute. So let us know if you need the link to hop on the panel. All right, I said we're gonna get straight to it tonight. We ain't gonna even play around with it. All right, you ready, Chloe?
Let's go.
All right. All right, topic for tonight. Men are sassy. Man, y'all in the sassy stuff, man. Topic for tonight. Men are sassy. Man, let me say this, man. I don't know which one of y'all made this word up. Yeah, let me just leave it right there. We'll get on into the conversation. All right, so we got a couple tonight. Got a little curve in here as well, but let's get on into this one.
He's so sassy. This new generation of men that want to be treated like women is crazy to me. To all my women who feel like this, let me ask you a quick question. What happens when your son brings home a woman who thinks that way? Are you still going to have that same mentality? The majority of men who are just asking for women to reciprocate the time, the effort, the thought. I'm not talking about the and ain't Anthony. I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about the good men who deserve all these things. Y'all calling them sassy when all old boy is asking you to do is to be a good human being? Be an equal partner in a relationship? What is this? If you're not trying to spend $300 on the first date, what are you even trying to date me for? What are you going to do when your son brings this type of woman home? Do we still have these same thought processes? When my son is out here in the world looking for a woman, I want him to choose a woman who's like, yo, I value you. I appreciate you. You had a hard day at work? Tell me about it. You want a specific meal? Let me make it for you because you've been providing for me in all these other ways. Let me show you my appreciation. If he brings home a woman who isn't able to do that, I don't like her.
Okay. Topic for the night. Men are sassy. Okay, shout out to the young lady. I think her name is Sweet Pea. I think that's her name, something like that. But yeah, she's on IG. I know she's heavy on IG, but definitely go check her out. She got a little podcast as well, but I think it's Sweet Pea, I think is what it is. All right, so she was having a conversation around these men being sassy, around the young ladies calling these men sassy, just giving her perspective on it. So yeah, I think it's a worthy conversation because, you know, we hear this a lot. If I know I hear it. Yeah, but guys forever being called sassy. She put a little twist on it and she said, you know what I'm saying, for the ladies out here, what are you saying? Or how are you looking at it if your son comes home with a young lady and she has that mentality of calling men sassy and this and that and so forth? So she threw a little twist on it. So yeah, I want to see what y'all say. So drop a comment, let me know what you think. Let me come to my panel. Chloe, JR. So what y'all think about what the young lady said? Is she any validity to what she's saying? What's, you know, the whole position of, you know, being a mom and your son bringing this type of young lady home? So yeah, just give me your thoughts. Let me see what y'all say on it. Chloe, JR, anybody can kick off. Is that you, Chloe? Go ahead.
I think for me, the thing that stood out was the mentality as she was speaking of when she was saying men are sassy, but she followed that up by saying they're saying this because they want to be treated like women. And I'm like, what part of that makes you sassy? So what are you saying? How are women wanting to be treated? They say they want to be treated with respect. They say they want men to be considerate. They want men to be emotionally intelligent. They want men to put energy and time into dating them and planning dates. They want, men to be willing to reciprocate. In a lot of cases, they're asking for men to be willing to invest in them without knowing if they're going to get any kind of return, right? And basically, they're saying that this is sassy behavior. So when a woman is acting like this, what do we call it? So when a man wants these things, which in my opinion is just common courtesy, then what do we call it when a woman wants it? And I think that for me, it speaks to the mindset, right? Men literally cannot have any kind of standards these days. Because a man who has any kind of standards these days is going to be called sassy or, he's, goofy, he's corny. I mean, you name it. Whenever a man, or they'll go to the negative side and they'll say he's narcissistic. These are the extremes. He's, toxic masculinity, all of these things. Like they'll take it to the extremes. And I just want to know, like, at what point did we decide that men are just supposed to be zombies walking around here with absolutely no feelings, walking around here with no standards, with no requirements? Meanwhile, on the other side, women want to be treated like royalty.
Right.
Royalty. The same women that are dating men who will sleep with them, impregnate them, but then not choose them as wives. I think we have to take a look at that. Like maybe we should spend less time just being so deep in conflict with men and just start kind of listening to what they're asking. Because what they're asking for is no different than what we are asking for as women. They're not asking for anything more. So when we ask for it, it's standards. But when they ask for it, it's sassy.
Right. That's wild. that's wild right there. Let me come down to Jared. Jared, you want to say anything at all? Or are you good right now, man?
Yeah, and I was just gonna say, I think it kind of goes like both ways, right? Obviously, I think mainly it kind of used to be, like, I'll probably say like back in the day, the dad would probably be more prone to protecting the daughter, right? Because he knew what kind of scum he was, So you see dads move completely like protective over their daughters. And I think like the tables then turned where the mom is now kind of realizing like whoa, we are the ones that are the scums and men are not the scums like that, So times have changed. So I think she's kind of realized that, like, you know what I do to men, or what I've probably done to men in the past, she now understands that if she has a son, that the chances of him going through something that she's put a man through is very high. And I always find it quite ironic that when us guys voice it, it goes in at the other, but women tend to understand it very well because they speak the same language, So yeah, I'll leave that there for now.
Okay. All right. No, I appreciate that right there, man. I think that was Joe that just checked in. Joe, you down there, man?
Good evening.
Good evening. How you doing, man?
I'm doing well. Doing very well.
All right, good. Did you catch that, man, or you need me to run it back?
I did catch it.
Okay.
Yeah, I caught it.
Okay. You want to say anything, or you good right now, man?
I don't know. It seems like this whole using that as it's basically a verbal attack. towards men, perhaps in retaliation for men calling women like masculine or masculinas. So and then you also have men who do the opposite. They came up with sprinkle, sprinkle. Guys came up with drizzle, drizzle. So it's basically a tit for tat between both sexes. So I'm not even convinced. At least I would like to believe I'm not convinced that these women actually believe these men are sassy. But it's a way to attack. It's a way to attack their manhood, and to diminish them as an authority. Like I said, as a response, possibly. Um, I mean, that's really all I got. I don't really know. I think it's unfortunate that a lot of women feel that way, or think that way, or say these things, even as a joke. Uh, I don't think it's funny. I think it's deplorable because they know that it hurts man's egos. That's what it is. It's an attempt to hurt a man's ego, and to really get him to question himself, and to have a lot of self doubt, and to attack his self esteem. That's really what it comes down to. What the motives are, I'm not entirely sure. Um, I don't think it's like I said. Part of it could be retaliatory. Um, Part of it could just be the way they were raised. Part of it could be just the lack of respect they have for men in general. It could be a lot of different factors. I haven't really taken the time to step back and say, well, I wonder why this is. I just know that it happens, even in real life. So not just on the internet. They treat men uh, very disrespectfully, and they will passively aggressively say these type of things to get at men. So I don't know. It's just a bad deal all around.
Yeah, no, I feel that right there. I feel that, man. Yeah, just to add to the conversation. So, listening to the young lady in the video, let's say she makes some valid points. But let me start with this. I want to say, first off, salute to all of the women out there who are now recognizing these things and the negative effect that it's having on the dating space. Yeah, let me say that first off. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot more young ladies speaking out against these types of things. Yeah, these gentlemen being called sassy, and these guys, they manhood being questioned because they got some standards, and they not just gonna bend over and let you use them up. Like, I've been seeing a lot more young ladies speaking out against these types of things, because ultimately I think what is happening now is, I think a lot more of the young ladies have started to feel the repercussions of these types of things taking place. And what I mean by that is, there's a lot of ladies out here that are serious in this dating space. They are intentionally looking for their partners, their significant others. They're intentionally trying to get into relationships and build with somebody, but that space is being tarnished because of these things, like calling men sassy. And it's tarnishing that space. And at the same time, what it is doing is it is limiting the ladies who are serious. It is limiting their prospects, because it's causing men, first of all, not to trust women. Two, is causing men to have a negative, I guess the word is disdain towards women. And dudes is just falling back. Yep. So now the young ladies who were serious, who weren't doing this type of nonsense, now they starting to feel the repercussions, because now they like, what's happening to the guys? Why the guys don't want to take me out and spend money on me like they used to? Why the guys don't want to, spend quality time with me no more? Why are the guys not even approaching me anymore? Well, if we got situations of men being called sassy, they're going to pull back. If we have situations of men being called creeps or pervs or whatever for approaching you, they're going to stop approaching you. Yeah, but if we got women out here talking about you can't take them here and you can't take them there, well, then the dude's going to say, okay, well, I ain't going to take you nowhere. So for the women that are serious, now they over here, like Sweet Pea, because I see her making a change. for the women who are serious out here and trying to be intentional, now they looking at the playing field like, man, the prospects is drying up. Yep, and that is a side effect of all of these things that we've been doing. Yeah, let me put it out like this.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Joe. No, go ahead. You want to say something?
No, you about to finish. No,
oh,
you cool.
Okay, I got you. Let me put it out here like this. Yep, a guy is not sassy because he has expectations.
That's it.
I ain't never like that. Yeah, but that's a whole lie. A guy is not sassy because you disrespect him and he has a response for you. Yeah, that don't make him sassy. He's just not going to tolerate your disrespect. Yep, a guy is not sassy because he demands the same thing from you that he's giving you. Yep, and see, this is the thing. If that's the position, that some of the young ladies, I know it's not all young ladies, if that's the position that some of these young ladies want to take because they don't want to meet these expectations or they don't want to reciprocate or whatever the reason is, then just say that. Yep, just say you ain't got it going on like that. Just say you ain't got it together. Just say you ain't boss chicken like you had everybody thinking. Just say you're not the wifey material woman that you try to act like you are. Just say that. Yeah, but don't try to project that on a man and then want to label him sassy because he don't move around and do whatever you want to say when you want him to do it. That's not how that works. But I'm gonna stop right there. Let me come down to you, Joe. You want to say something, man?
No, that was going to be my slight addendum to my previous statement. And you said all three of them. I was like, that was it. That's exactly what I was going to say. That is crazy. It would actually be the opposite, right? If a man is doing everything that a woman is saying, that he's bending over backwards for, he's kowtowing to her, that would make him, by their definition, sassy, feminine, or a follower. That will put him in a feminine position. So it would actually be the opposite. So it's switched. Somehow the man who is strong, who shows character, who stands his ground, who isn't going to take verbal abuse from a woman, or he's going to clap back, as they say, because she says something he's not supposed to. He's just supposed to just take it like a bulletproof jacket. He's not supposed to fire back. That makes him a man. That makes him he's defending himself, his territory. But they see it, maybe they do see it that way, but because they want it their way, they're going to try to make a man feel like he should be doing it the opposite, so they can have control of the circumstances, the relationship, and the situation that they're in, which would actually make him, as we used to call them way back in the day, sissies, actually. So it's like that's the woman's way of saying it, the same thing. But when men used to say it to each other, I don't think it's a good thing to say. But when they did, it was you're not standing up for yourself. You're not standing your ground. You're being pushed over. It actually meant that. But now when women say basically their version of sissy or sassy, they're saying if you don't do what I tell you to do, and if you're not going to relinquish your power as a man, that makes you so. So it's actually backwards. So if they're going to use the word, which is a derogatory term, at least use it in a proper context, not for being a man. I hope that makes sense, because it's switched. That's all. I'm trying to. Man, that's messed up. They switch.
You see it. You see it.
I know what you're trying to say.
Yeah,
go ahead, Miss Chloe. Now go, Miss Chloe.
Oh, Chloe, go ahead.
No, I was going to say that is why for a long time I have been saying, and I will continue to say, that some of the biggest narcissists you'll ever meet are women, not men. Not to say that there aren't male narcissists out here, of course, we know there are, but some of the biggest narcissists are women, and it takes one to know one. So, I'm not calling myself a narcissist. No, what I'm saying is women saying that to men, and it's like you're saying that to men, you're projecting. Because at the end of the day, just like Joe said, they're taking what you know to be true and they're flipping it, right? It's a form of manipulation, and that is one of the biggest traits of a narcissist. They're very manipulative, and if you look at the way a lot of women are moving these days, it's heavy manipulation. It's always about making a man out to be something that, in general, men aren't, right? It's taking some of the nastiest traits that we see amongst women, and it's saying, this is what men are. And it is the biggest, just gaslight ever. I think that even just taking Sassy as an example, right? Since when did a man being what some might perceive or some might call hypermasculine, since when does that ever make you sassy? It doesn't, unless you are using the modern girl math. And if you're using modern girl math, then that makes you sassy. You know why it makes you sassy? Because it does not allow me to manipulate and control you the way that I want to. So you're sassy. And that, just like Joe said, is another way that they attack a man's masculinity. If you think about it, even the things that they require of men these days, not all of them, but a lot of them play to certain things about a man that he can't change. When they say, I want a man who is 6 feet tall, a man cannot do anything safe and healthy about his height. He can't. So why hold a man's height against him unless it's just another way for you to downplay him, downgrade him, and put him right? All it does is just chip at that ego, just like Joe was saying. Another thing, when they say, they want a man with a certain genitalia size, it's like, what is a man supposed to do about that? Once again, it's something that he can't control or change, right? Not in a healthy way. It just doesn't work that way, right? But here's another way that I can attack your masculinity, that I can hit you where it hurts, right? That I can hurt your pride. I can get your ego. Or even saying a man that works really hard and probably has gotten to a certain point or working to get to a certain point in life, he doesn't make enough. It's not enough. It's not enough money. It's not enough education. It's not enough. No, regardless of what, it's never enough. And that's just another way to attack a man's ego, to downgrade him. And I feel like this is where we're at now. Why is it, as women, these are the things that we say we need, right? These are our standards. That's what we call them. They're my standards. But then a man will turn around and he'll say, okay, well, I like a woman who's fit and friendly. The funny thing about that is those are things that you can change about yourself. You adjust your attitude. You can actually go to the gym, work out, and just, push back from the table. You can do that. You can change those things about yourself. You don't want to. But for a man, the things that you claim are your standards are things that a man can't change even if he wanted to. It's crazy. I mean, it points to where we are in the dynamic between men and women right now. We're so knee deep in this war that we don't even realize that we're canceling each other out left and right.
Right. Yeah, no, that's facts right there. Let me come up to JR. I know you wanted to say something, man. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say, obviously, everybody's made some really, really good points, and I was gonna say, like, yeah, men rule the world and women rule men. And
Oh, interesting.
the way I mean by that is that
Stop
so
the cap.
so men rule the world, women rule men, right? So what I mean by that is it's basically
They pull the strings.
obviously for the guys that obviously that have played you know, PlayStation, Xbox, all of that stuff back in the day, right? Yeah. If you're playing GTA, you cannot tell the computer not to shoot back at you. I cannot control the controller. And that is the problem that we are having. Women want to control the controller. Now, like I said, men rule the world. We have our advantages. Women ruling men, they have their advantages. So we're both playing the game, but it's just in reverse. Somebody is going to get controlled and somebody's going to be the controller, or whether it is vice versa. That's how it goes. But the problem is it's that women want to control everything. Like I said, you cannot play GTA, control the pad, and simultaneously tell the computer you cannot shoot back at me. It does not make sense. And that's the problem that we're having, right? You cannot control the controller. I understand that very well. I got to do my part, they're going to do their part. I win on this side, I'll lose on this side. They'll win on that side, they will lose on that side. It's give and take. That's how it goes. We understand that as men, right? But somehow women want to tell their computer on GTA, do not shoot me when I shoot you. It doesn't make sense.
That's real right there. That's real. So on that note, let me pose this question. I'm sure we got a couple young ladies watching right now. So question to the ladies. For the ladies who are willing to be honest. Why y'all always trying to control everything? Question to the ladies that are willing to be honest. Why are y'all always trying to control everything?
Why do you want to?
Yeah, I'm gonna see if somebody gonna answer. Let's see. We got some folks checked in right now. I know we got some ladies watching. So ladies, let me know. Yeah, why do y'all try to control everything? Yeah, so drop me a comment, let me know. Because I said that is a valid point. That is a valid point. But see, I think this is where the issue comes in, right? If you're looking to put yourself in a position where you control everything, then you also have to be prepared to carry the risk.
A lot of risk.
Yeah, you gotta be prepared to carry the risk, and I think that's where the issue comes in. Yeah, see, we have folks wanting to control things, but they don't want to carry the risk. They don't want to carry the negative part. Because see, people like to control things when it's working, or when it look good, or when it's easy. But when it get ugly, then that's typically when you see people want to pull back. Yeah, but see, that's not how that works. So if you want to be the controller, you want to call the shots, then you also gotta put that thing on your back when it get ugly. Yeah, you can be the controller when you up in the mansion, but when that thing catch on fire, somebody got to deal with that. Yeah, you can't go sit back and just say, I'm a lady. Yeah, you can't do that now. So at the end of the day, you got to pick and choose. It can't be both. You got to pick a side. Yeah, but I think that's the piece that gets missed. As long as the show is running well, but we see it at corporations all the time. Yeah, folks want to get in there, they want to call the shots, run their mouth, this and that. Yeah, they got this position, this title. Okay, cool. So then, Q4 come around and the numbers is looking real jacked up. Then you notice them same people, they disappear. Yeah, you don't hear them talking about their titles no more. You don't hear them trying to call no shots. They trying to pull back, trying to see what the real controllers or the real bosses and leaders is going to step up and do to get the company back, you know what I'm saying, to a good standing before you get back into Q1 of next year. So it's just like we got to be realistic with that thing. You gotta pick a side, or better yet, I'm not gonna say a side. You gotta pick a position, because I think that's really what a lot of this comes back to. We out of position. Yeah, folks want to play positions that they really shouldn't be trying to play.
So they want the glory without the fallback.
Correct.
They want the praise and admiration that comes with it if you succeed, but they don't want the disdain and the why did you make that decision. They don't want that pushback when things fail, and it's always going to every time. There's no escaping it. There's not one situation where I've been in a leadership position where I have great successes and great failures, but it seems like these women who want to dominate, let's just say, well, they want to be the dominant. So I don't like using the words control because I can't control anyone. People have autonomy, especially in America, but they want to dominate the situation. Okay, fine. Well, then take accountability for both the successes and the failures. And a lot of times, if you're a really good dominant person, you're going to give credit to other people for doing the job that you may have done. And you're going to take the blame when things go bad. So, but they, even in those situations, they'll be quick to take the glory and all the praise and admiration, and they'll channel it to themselves and not their team who they're leading, and be quick to also blame those same people when things fail, when it was their fault that things failed in the first place. So if you're going to be a leader, be an effective one and stand by it 100%, because it's actually a selfless act. It's not this grandiose thing that they think it is. And the few trophies and accolades and praise that we do get for doing good leadership work doesn't compare to the stress and the work and the mental and emotional energy it takes to do it effectively, consistently over a long period of time. Now they just want the short-term quick hits. Oh, I got this. Oh, look at me, I did it. You know, and then the team's like, well, didn't we all do it? Yeah, no. And then if something fails, well, I got to lay off a lot of people. You're the first ones to go. They're going to be the first ones to blame everyone else but themselves. So the first ones to take credit and the first ones to deny responsibility. Right. But it's actually the opposite of that. That's what a real dominant person does. So even in their desire to want to be dominant or controlling of a situation, they're not even doing that properly.
Yeah, no, that's real. That's like I said, when you know what I'm saying, when we sit down and be honest about that thing, that's really what that ends up looking like. So no, you spot on with that, man. Let me get some of these comments real quick. Shout out to IT in the building, Nicole. She said, I trust what I do only. Nicole, what?
What does that mean?
Nicole, I'm at the, you be dropping these comments. I'm at to send you that link. So you be
come up on her this I don't know what she mean by that.
She said, I trust what I do only. So basically, Nicole, are you saying that you are only going to trust or only going to roll with your direction? Is that what you're saying right here? You had to let me, go. You're going to have to expound on that, Nicole. Let me know if you need that link or drop another comment. Let me know. Let me get these comments. I'll come to you, Chloe. 1 sec. See, Kenyatta said, I tried it back in the day. It didn't work because a real man will call it out. No, that's facts. That's facts right there, Kenyatta. A real one will definitely call it out. That's key right there. A real one. He gonna call that mess out. That's facts. I appreciate that comment. See, Donovan said risk requires accountability. No, that too. Yep, that too. Yeah, there has to be some accountability, you know what I'm saying, with that risk. You got to take ownership. And then Donovan also said, why do so many ladies want to avoid accountability? Man, you trying to start up another show, man. You trying to start up another show. You know the answer to that, Donovan. You know the answer to that. All right, let's see. Nicole came back. I cannot confirm or deny. What?
She's being cryptic. No, she got to jump on this panel.
Boy, ain't no way, boy.
Come on, yo.
Boy, ain't no way, boy.
You know they're not gonna let you get away with that.
Nah, Nicole trying to play games tonight. I see what Nicole trying to do tonight. She can't confirm or deny. Yeah, okay, Nicole. Okay, I see what it is. All right, let me come to you, Chloe. I know you wanted to say something. Then I'm drop us into another. Do you want to say something real quick?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, just my theory. And it's really not a theory. I
Go ahead.
know that this is a lot of the reason. Not always, obviously, but I think a lot of times women want to control the situation. Partly, I mean, for what Nicole said, she said trust, right? But it really, at the root of that is fear. Because at the end of the day, I think that as women, we have. We have built this sort of deck of cards that is our life, and it's in our minds is very delicate, right? We have, for those of us who feel like we've done what we were supposed to do, like we went to school, we got our education, like we got a good job, we're able to take care of ourselves, we're surviving. And this goes back to last week's show about women being in survival mode. We're surviving. When you are in survival mode, though, you are deathly afraid of anything or anyone coming into that scenario that might knock down that very carefully built deck of cards that you have, you've created. You're concerned about that. Like, you don't know if you should let someone in to a certain extent and give them control over what you have spent time and energy building. Because in your mind, you're like, can I trust that this person knows what they're doing? Can I trust that they'll lead me properly? Can I trust that they won't, leave and leave me in a situation that's worse than what I was already in? Can I trust that? Right? I think that sometimes that control stems from that. I am not by any means saying that's okay, because really, if I'm right about that, which I know for I am, right, for certain people, this is true. It is fear. And we need to get to the root of that, though. Why are we so afraid? What's putting us in this mindset of survival mode to the point of where we're so concerned that a person that's going to come in could potentially, rock the boat and throw off what we already have going on. Especially when, for some of us, not all of us, for some of us, we ain't doing all that great leading our own situations.
That's what I was about to say. I was about to
We're
go
not
there.
doing that great. If we're in survival mode, we're not doing that great leading our situations, but we're comfortable. Sometimes you can be comfortable in some situations that are not the greatest, but you're comfortable because you're surviving and you don't want to disrupt that. And then I think sometimes it comes from a place of insecurity. There are some things that I think some of us know we're doing or not doing. And we don't want to let anyone get too close into our situations or have too much say so over it, because they just might ask us to do something that we don't want to do. They just might ask us to change something that we don't want to change. They just might come in with some expectations of me that I have no intentions of trying to meet.
Right. That's real right there. That's real. Yeah, I was gonna jump on that real quick. When you made that point that folks are not doing all that well, on their own. And like I said, that's something. Yeah, that's something that we hear as well. You know what I'm saying? We hear situations where, people will say, I need this guy to come in with this plan, and he need to be able to lead me and lead me like this and lead me like that. And it's like, when we look at some of these internal situations, to Chloe's point, it's like, it ain't popping like that. And you working a job just like he is. You know what I'm saying? You getting by just like he is. Like, so you expecting him to come in here with A, B, C, D, E, F, and Z. And it's like, you just getting by just like him. So, like I said, some of the mindsets that we take on and then wonder why, we don't get some of the outcomes that we say that we want. Like, we really got to think about that. Yeah, we really got to think about that. If everybody ain't got it figured out, everybody ain't got it mapped out from point A to point B, everybody ain't got it mapped out. Sometimes you got to get into that thing. Then you got to see where you need to pivot and adapt and move accordingly. Everything is not always going to be mapped out step by step. Sometimes that's just not realistic if we're going to be honest about that thing. Let me get this comment real quick. Let's see. Kenyatta said a lot of women never experience being able to turn their brain off when they are there. Let's see. When they are their man, husband, significant, or when they're with their man, husband, or significant other. That's a whole nother level of trust, love, and peace. Yeah. So no, Kenyatta, I agree with you on this. Yeah, I agree with you on this. I'm sure a lot of folks. Yeah, you know what? To be honest, Kenyatta, this probably even plays on both sides. I'm sure a lot of folks have not been with somebody or spent a substantial amount of time with somebody to where they could completely, you know, the way you described it, turn their brain off. But, you know, I'll describe it as drop their guard and just be free. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of folks haven't experienced that. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of these ladies haven't been around a man who just had it handled to where she could just be cute. She just sit in the passenger seat and just be cute, and he got it all handled. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of ladies haven't experienced that. Yeah, but I'm sure, you know what I'm saying, a lot of men out here haven't experienced a young lady who just had it all covered. And he just fall back and do his quote unquote manly stuff or handle his responsibilities and the ship just be moving forward. I'm sure a lot of men haven't experienced that. So no, that's a great point right here. I'm glad you dropped this comment. All right, let me I see Cole down there. I don't know if she want to defend herself or if she chilling.
I'm gonna defend myself. I am.
Cool. Good.
Come on, let me get it ready for you. Come on.
Oh no.
Go ahead and defend yourself, Cole.
Why y'all terrible? So the comment that I was saying was, I trust my opinion because that's the only one that I can control and have action about. I can't control nobody else.
Okay. Huh. So just straight like that, just that simple. Oh, did we lose her?
What'd you say?
No, I thought we almost lost her. So I said just straight like that, just nothing else. You just you can't control them, so you're only rolling with you.
It's not like that exactly, but I mean that's what it is. I don't want to control the other person. I'm just saying I can only hold myself accountable. I can't hold anybody else accountable. Like, for example, if I ask somebody to do something and then they don't do it, and let's say it's time sensitive, I mean, I only trust myself to do it at that point, especially if they're moving a little slow about taking action.
Okay. I feel that. I feel that, Cole. I feel that, Cole. So are you telling me? Let me go and put you on the spot, Cole. So you telling me?
Oh no.
First of all, someone needs to
oh my God! He said, "What'd you say?"
Who cut the
I think that
smoke
was
alarm
Joe.
on? That's crazy.
What'd you say,
That's
Joe?
irrelevant. This smoke alarm just throwing me off. I don't know if that's your sound effect, but that's ghetto.
No, that's where I am in the background. Somebody won't put a battery in this thing. I'm not commenting.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what it is.
Okay. Oh, that's something in your background, Nicole?
Yes, it is. It's very frustrating.
Oh, okay. It's all good. So Nicole, let me go and ask her because I did ask the ladies this question. Have you are you trying to tell me you ain't never tried to control none of these dudes out here? Is that what you telling me?
I mean, in previous situations, I'm sure I've attempted reflecting and looking back on it. Yes, I'm sure I have, but I don't have the same attitude about it now.
Okay, I'm just checking. I just had to ask. I appreciate your answer. Let me get this. We got a comment from Donovan. Let's see. Donovan said, I hear the double talk on some of these ladies who go live once or twice a day. Yeah, man, these lives, man. You ain't lying about that. Let's see. 1 minute they're praying for a husband. Next day they're going in on the guy or guys that drop in their DMs. They swear at this point they don't need a man. I'm confused. Yeah, that's gonna be an ongoing thing, man. Back and forth, change from day by day.
Yeah, that's all. That's what I was gonna say. The change day by day. Last week or last time she was on here, she showed herself. Today she, she's showing herself, man. What's going on? I see a chameleon here.
Man, y'all ain't about to do this.
Y'all not about to do that. Shots tonight.
Y'all ain't about to do this. I ain't about to let y'all do this. But let me I got a couple videos that folks sent me for tonight. Let me throw another one up real quick. We'll keep going.
What's something you'll get a lot of hate for if you say it out loud?
That men, their whole life was taught how to treat a woman and not what to expect from a woman. But women were taught their whole life what to expect from a man, but not how to treat a man.
Wow. Yeah, man.
Okay.
That is true. I hate that that's true.
Yeah, I think there is some validity to that.
Yeah.
I guess I would just ask. Yeah, because I think I'm trying to think. Well, I think two people sent me that video. I would just ask why. Yeah, I would just ask why. Well, let me pose it to this like this. I know once again, I know we got ladies in the comments. Ladies, were y'all ever taught how to treat a man? Like, was that ever something that you got from your mom or your grandmas or aunties, anything like that? I'm just curious. Listen, it's no, it ain't no negative. I'm just curious. Did you get any of those types of lessons from any of the ladies around you at all? Because I know I'm just speaking for me personally. I definitely got some lessons around how to treat a woman. So I'm just curious. So yeah, any ladies, drop me a comment, let me know. Nicole, I see you sitting up here. I know if you want to come off. Were y'all ever taught anything or given any tips from any of the ladies that was around y'all when y'all was growing up, and as it relates to, so how to treat a man or how to interact with a man? I'm just curious. Anybody can ask. Go ahead, Nicole.
So most of my experience, honestly, really was from some the church women. So like older women in church, the first lady. Well, we had those conversations when I got older, but that was really the women that gave me the real. It wasn't anybody really outside of that.
Okay. All right. Cool. Let me get this comment. Let's see. Kenyatta said nope. Okay, so Kenyatta flat out. So she, dang. That's
that's crazy.
Yeah, that's wild right there. That's
now maybe they are taught. They are taught how to treat a man by the women around them who treat the men around them. And if it's negatively, if it's abuse, if it's talking down to them, then she's being taught. She's not being said do X, Y, Z, but her actions, she's mimicking her mother.
That's
I got you. So you saying she was able to? She was seeing an example of how other women treat men, but to your point, it may not have been positive. So that may be some of the things that she. Okay, no, I can see that. So no, that would be based on the environment that you in. So I can understand that. See, Kenyatta said I was taught how to be a lady around a man. Okay. So yeah, I don't know. My man in the video, I guess he was spot on with that. Go ahead, Chloe.
No, I was just gonna piggyback off what Joe said to answer the question. Yeah, so I was never sat down, right? And like my mom sat me down and said, this is exactly specifically what you should do. It wasn't that. It was more of I saw her interactions with my dad and I saw how she treated my father and I saw how she carried herself as a wife. I also saw how she carried herself as a mother. I saw what she prioritized. I saw, she patterned it for me. And actually, I don't think that this is a bad thing when you have a good example, right? Just like John said, when that woman is a good example, because a lot of times we emulate what we see, not what someone tells us. Like it's not until we get to a certain level of maturity are we actually able to listen to someone say something and then we go and do that, right? But when you're growing and you're learning, you're really just watching what people are doing around you and you're taking point from that. So it really has to be a woman showing you through her actions the proper way to treat a man and a proper way to carry yourself. And if that's not being patterned for you, then you're not going to know. And then on top of that, I also grew up in a religious household. So, also I had standards that were taught to me of how to, conduct yourself as a person, how to have morals and how to have a good character. So that also was something that was shown and patterned for me as well. And I think that that's unfortunately maybe what we're seeing missing, is just not having that good example. And I think the same thing goes for men. Like, how do you guys, at some point you have to have a mentor, or you have to see someone that you feel has the type of life that you'd like to have one day, because if there isn't a man around you to pattern what a solid stable man is, how do you know? Right? Then don't you end up growing up with some kind of deficit?
Yep, go to the streets. That's how you have gangs. That's how I saw the kids on my block who, same neighborhood, could live right next door to me, but have totally different outcomes because of one factor that was missing out of the picture, and that was the father. He's not there. So the difference between both of us having a desire to want to make money, because that's innate within every man, a desire to acquire resources. It's just in the form of currency. The difference is that my father noticed it, saw it, and said, okay, time for you to start selling candy. Okay, cool. It's a legal thing. The other, my neighbor, my friend, same age and everything, same school, same background, everything except for the father. He doesn't have that guiding hand. He might have a mother, but at this point he's 13. He's 10 times stronger than her now. That testosterone kicks on. He's not going to really listen to her. He might, but it's not likely. So the father isn't there. He sees another boy in the streets getting money with selling dope. He's going to do that because that just makes sense. He still has that instinct to make money, to acquire resources. It's still there. So it's the same way for us. We mimic that thing. My father taught me stocks. He taught me not the schools. He taught me how to read, to get into books, vocabulary, how to use my words very well, how to structure. He taught me a lot of things I still use today that has made me a lot of money and has gotten me very far in life. But that's because I had a father in the home to guide that masculine energy that I had. And it was by him being the example. I saw him pull out a wad of $100 bills. And where did you get that from? I made this from trading stocks. You want to do it? Yeah. And to this day, I'm doing well trading stocks because of something he showed me 20 years ago. So yeah, we model, we are pattern. We look at the patterns our fathers do and the actions that they do, and whether it comes to business, how they treat women, different things in life, and it can either positively or negatively affect us. The same way with women. Remember, we're all human, so we all learn the same way. That's how we learn how to walk. Okay, this is how you do it. That's how we learn how to talk. That's how we learn how to write. All these things that we learn initially is from patterning other human beings around us. The best way to learn how to drive a car is not from reading a manual or listening how to do it. Is being in the car with someone right next to you to show you step by step every little detail, so eventually you get it. So we, even as adults, we still learn best by patterning after other people's behaviors. That's why we have to be careful about the people that we surround ourselves. But as adults, we also have that unique ability of knowing, of hearing something and not necessarily having to be close to that person. So that's an extra bit of development that we have as we get older. But we still predominantly learn best and acquire different skills and a different mindset based on the people that we have around us, even if it's not just our mothers and our fathers. So yeah.
Yeah, no, that's valid. But I think the difference is just as we're kind of talking through this, I think the difference is I think more men get it both ways. Yeah, like they're seeing men around them and how they treat women, but then they're also getting verbal lessons on how to do it. Yeah, so they're being told that, gentlemen hold the door, but then they also are seeing men holding the door for ladies walking into the restaurant. You see what I'm saying? They're seeing men, to your point, Joe, they're seeing men around them driving a car, but then while they're in the car with that, with that man is also verbally telling them stuff as it relates to driving. Hey, when you get around these certain areas, come up off that gas a little bit. It'll be hot over here. Like, so see, the guys a lot of times are getting it both ways. They're getting it by environment or surrounding and just visibly seeing it, but then they're also getting the verbal as well. And just based on the responses, you know what I'm saying, from some of the ladies, it doesn't seem like they get that much of the verbal. So they see the examples of some of the married women and how they interact with their husbands, or how they their mom interacted with their father, but then it doesn't sound like they're getting as much verbal. Now, Nicole did say, she got some, in the church setting, but that's not everybody's case, right? So it's like, it sounds like that verbal piece, hey, come here, baby, this is how you show this man that you care about him. Like, this is how it sounds like that part is missing. So basically, they're really just going off what they see, or who has modeled something for them to observe. But the other side of it, which is the side that we get, it doesn't sound like they're getting as much of that, just based on the responses. So,
and
but
perhaps
yeah,
if they are, it's not as positive of affirmation. If they are getting it, perhaps it's also how they're treating a man is poorly, and they're also saying your father ain't shit, and they're saying
that
this.
too.
So they're getting, like, they're getting a verbal, but it might not. It may be unintentional. She's screaming out. The child hears in the back room, and I hear my parents screaming, and she's saying this about my father. Then I guess this is how, man. So they're
Hope it
receiving
ain't
it.
that verbal, Joe. Hope it ain't that verbal, man.
Yeah, unfortunately. I mean, a woman has to be as intentional about what she says around her daughter, so she can both act out, monkey see, monkey do, but also, like you said, verbally hear and affirm the things that she's saying. So the two dots just connect. So it's a lot of missing links there for whatever reason. I don't know. We just do it better. My father did it that way. It was, I'm showing you this, I'm saying this, and I'm also the example of this thing that I'm showing you. And that's why it works so well. But it's just a
Right.
lack of that positive affirmation, both from the experimental as well as verbal, that's just missing or lacking amongst women. For what reason, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I got you. Go ahead, JR. Then we'll run a couple more, then we're gonna get on out of here. Go ahead, JR.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so yeah, I was asked my little sister this question when we're just having a casual conversation or whatever it is, right? To obviously just see where she's at. And I always pose this to her. If you wanna act stupid, I'll talk to you as if you're a child. If you say to me that you're smart or whatever it is, then yeah, I will talk to you like an adult, and that means I'm gonna hold you accountable for whatever comes out of your mouth. So we're saying that if women don't know how to treat a man, sorry, or they haven't been taught whatever it is, right? For me, it doesn't really make sense, because if we go back to the previous video, what came out the lady's mouth, right? If these women treat my son like this or whatever it is, right? She's now basically jumping right there and tell the woman to bounce, get out there, because she shouldn't treat her son like that. So to me, that means that they actually know how to treat a man, but actively choose to not actually treat a man the right way.
Oh, that's a good point.
So hold on, JR. Hold on. Let me think about that. So you saying that from the previous video, the young lady said if her son brought home a young lady who would, had this attitude and was calling the men sassy and so forth, she'd be done. So she got to go. So you saying because she takes that position that these young ladies actually do know how to treat a man. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, because she can acknowledge that lady's behavior is bad. So that means either she knows what bad behavior is towards a man, or she's done bad behavior towards a man, which then means because the son who is directly someone that is aligned to her by blood, right? And she loves him, she cares for him, right? Why would she now allow a woman to come and treat her son bad? So they know. And that's what I said. I will talk to you like a child if you want to act stupid, that means I can't hold you accountable for what comes out of your mouth. But if you tell me that you're a smart adult, whatever it is, yeah, so whatever comes out your mouth, I'm gonna hold you accountable. And she said that. And that's what I always say, right? These women aren't stupid. They know what they're doing. And like I said, it came out her own mouth. So she can actively acknowledge, yeah, what's right and what's wrong. And these women know what's right and what is wrong in this universe on how to treat a man.
Okay, you know what? I can't even fight you on that point, man. So that is a great correlation between what we're talking about right now in that original video. So no, you spot on with that. So there's some validity there. Okay, good grab, good grab.
Benefit of the doubt. I really wanted to give them the benefit of the doubt. I didn't want to go there because I thought it. I said, nah, they can't know. Nah, they can't really. They can't know it and still choose to be vindictive and evil like that. And he's making a proposition that, yeah, no, they know it. They're cunning. That's just what they want to do. Now, why they want to choose to do that is confusing to me. Maybe Chloe looks like she has she might give me some insight that I'm unaware of.
Go ahead, Chloe. Go ahead.
I mean, so he obviously has a point, but I think it's slightly different. The man in this second video, we're speaking to him saying that men were taught how to treat women. Women were taught what to expect of a man, not necessarily how to treat a man, right? So by that standard, then what JR says can be true, while also women not knowing how to treat men can be true. Both things can be true at the same time. Because, yeah, a woman can know right from wrong. A lot of these women know right from wrong. They know what's right to do and what's not right to do. They just don't want to do the right thing. But knowing how to treat a man is slightly different, right? Knowing that you shouldn't put your hand in a man's face because that's wrong. Knowing that you should knuckle up with a man because that's just stupid, right? You can know all those things and still do it because you want to do that, right? But knowing how to conduct yourself in a relationship with a man is different. Meaning, knowing how to be in your feminine energy, knowing, there are some certain things that you shouldn't say to a man because men trade on respect. That's their currency, right? Whereas women, we trade on something different, right? So I think that those are the details that women do need to be taught and that need to be understood by them. Understanding right from wrong is very important, but I think that most of us do truly understand what behaviors we should not be displaying and what behaviors we should be displaying. We just choose to do what we want to do. But when it comes to interacting with the opposite sex, there are some things you need to be taught. And there are some things that some of us have just not been taught. Now, I don't think we should use it as an excuse. I'm not saying you should use it as it doesn't. You just can't stop there and say, well, I was never taught, so I should be able to do whatever I want to do. No, just because you weren't taught, okay, now you're an adult. It's on you now to figure out how you should conduct yourself in a relationship. That's at least if you want to be in one. If you don't want to be in a relationship, then I guess it doesn't matter. If you're going to keep, basically operating in dysfunction, you won't be in a relationship for long. So if you want to be in a successful relationship, then yes, it's on you, regardless if you've been taught or not, to learn.
Right.
I don't know, Google it. But yeah, I think it's slightly, I think both are true. Yes, a lot of women out here do know that there are things they shouldn't be doing, and they're doing them anyway because they want to. But then again, a woman being taught how to be a woman of quality for a man is slightly different, because you do need to be taught that. Like, someone needs to pattern that for you. You do need that is important lessons that have to be taught. And I think that it's missing. And I was going to originally say this, and it slipped my mind before, but I think that part of the reason, not in every case, but I think in some cases, this is missing because, one, if there's not a man around in the home where this pattern can be, shown, then that's part of the reason why. I think also, Joe, maybe you touched on it, but if a woman has had experiences with a man, but they've been negative experiences, then how is she going to teach her daughter how to behave in a healthy situation? Because she doesn't know healthy. She only knows dysfunction, right? So then that's when you're going to get her saying, men ate this, and, your daddy was this, and all of that, right? And then that's what she's going to learn. And we already know that's dysfunctional, right? So I think that that has to be shown, and we don't have enough of that. Also, I got to be honest with y'all, and I'm going to land after this, but I think it's something to this whole narrative. I think there's some truth here to the narrative that some moms are jealous of their daughters. Some moms are absolutely jealous of their daughters, and they are not going to teach them how to behave. They're not going to teach them how to be, women of standard, women of quality. They're not going to teach them that because they're salty. It's the weird. It's like a love-hate scenario, a love-hate situation, because you have it where they love their daughters, they love them, but on the same flip side, it's like they see something in their daughters, they see opportunity, they see youth, they see they see a level of education or intelligence that they didn't get, that their daughters are getting, because we always want our children, right, to have more opportunity than we did. We want to give them things that we didn't have. And I think we do that on one, and like parents will do that for their kids on one level, and then at the same time resent them for it. Because I didn't have this, I didn't do that, I couldn't do this, and it's like, I think in the situation of a woman and her daughter, that unfortunately this is a problem. I think it's really an issue. And I think that's also why you have the older women not teaching the younger women what's acceptable, what's unacceptable, how to maintain a relationship, how to have a long successful relationship. I think it's a problem. I think there's something there.
Okay. No, I appreciate that right there. Okay, I got one more to throw up, and then we up out of here for the night. There's a little curveball somebody sent me right here, so we're gonna go ahead and touch this real quick, and then we're gonna get on up out of here.
My boyfriend asked me to marry him. I'm gonna say no. Why am I gonna say no? Because we started dating 5 years ago, and then a month after we started dating, his friend started dating his girlfriend, and they had a kid after 2 years of being together. We had our daughter after 4 years of being together. His friend pays all the bills in their home. We pay 50-50. His friend got engaged last year, and we haven't gotten engaged. His friend got married this past weekend. And the crazy thing is that when we started talking, he said, if we last a year, I'd like to get married and try for a baby. So a year came by, nothing. Then he said, well, maybe after 3 years, let's look at it like a lease payment. You get 3 years. 3 years came by, nothing. And then he said, maybe 5. 5 is a big deal. Bet. 5 came, nothing. So I got tired of dropping hints, got tired of sending ring photos, And I was just hoping that it would happen. So he goes to his friend's wedding this weekend, and I'm hoping that it would be a motivator. But to be honest, at this point, I don't even care. Like, I really don't care. Like, the magic of the idea of how he would propose and all of that, it's like, if you had that much doubt about marrying me, now I have these doubts. Like, why? What do you need? What's not enough? Shoot, I know I'm enough. You're not about to make me feel insecure. So he says, well, I made you the mother of my first and only child, and that should be good enough, because that's a big deal. That's forever. And yeah, it's a big deal. That's forever. But like, damn, I'm good enough to be your baby mama, but I'm not good enough to be your wife. So at this point, I'm like, if he proposes, I'm going to say no. Why? Because if it took him so long and he had so many doubts, he thinks it's all under his control, his power. Like, when I feel like it, that's when I'm going to propose and she's just going to say yes. No. I have some say too. And I can say no. Just because you propose doesn't mean I'm going to say yes. Like, for me to say yes, he's going to have to pull off a really, really, really nice proposal. Like, something super romantic. Like, Backstreet Boys in the background. Flower petals. Pink flower petals. Maybe a violinist on the beach. Or in front of the castle at Magic Kingdom. With fireworks in the background. Something to make it feel like it was worth waiting. Damn near 6 years, because we're about to be together for 6 years come this July. So come July, and there's no proposal, I'm gonna say no. If he ever asks. And if he doesn't ask, I guess I'm just his baby mama.
I was so confused. I'm so confused.
Can't make this shit up. I can't make this shit up.
Okay, I just want to know, why is it? Okay, why is it his fault that you're still there? Why is that his fault? Like, listen, remember when I told y'all about being ran up through there? He has ran her up and through there, okay? He done ran her up and through there. And she's still sitting over here talking about, well, maybe if it's that Magic Kingdom and it's fireworks and I'm just sitting over here like, sis, he even told you why he isn't married you. Just like Kenyatta said, because you already gave him what he wanted. You gave him his first child.
Legacy. I'm gonna say you already gave it.
Right. For him, he like you. I mean, and listen, ladies, hear me. And dudes, y'all fellas, y'all can feel however y'all want to feel about this next statement I'm about to make. But I really don't care.
Right. I'm about to log off.
You gave away your power. You gave away your power. You gave away your bargaining chip. You gave it away. You didn't, just like Kenyatta said, you did not set a standard. You gave away all the power you had. You gave it away. When you spread your legs and you replicated his DNA, sorry. Why does he need to commit to you at that point? He already got the best part of what you could give him. For free. So why would he need to marry you now? It's like, ladies, y'all keep playing yourselves and then y'all get mad at the men for it. I wish I would never let a man impregnate me. That's not my husband. That's crazy. Y'all playing yourself. And then y'all turn around and get mad at the man.
He tricked me.
That's
crazy. He manipulated me.
Like, it ain't gonna be too many of your friends' weddings I'm gonna go to, and we still dating. You're not gonna date me forever. I'm a wife. I damn sure ain't no baby mama. That's one title I have never had. So I don't, and you need to have, it's weird. Y'all can have standards when it comes to how tall he is, how much money he has, how big his genitalia is, where he take you on a date, what kind of car he drive. Y'all can have standards about all of this, but you cannot have standards enough for yourself to not spread your legs and replicate a man's DNA for absolutely nothing. And let's also, y'all don't even be enjoying the sex. So it's the definition of insanity. And then I don't even know it. Girl, you should have been gone by now. But see, now when you leave, you're not free of this man. Because you have his child now. So y'all be letting yourselves get trapped. I'll land.
No, suppose I said valid points. I saw the look on your face, Nicole. You want to say something? You good?
So it just seems like the female is definitely fantasizing the idea of marriage, but I mean, didn't really have any clue about like the process and what it really means. So I mean, she got what she got. I ain't trying to sound rude about it, but she got what she got. And what's up with the comparing to the friend too? It's like, stay out of people's relationship. That's the problem too. People be in other people's relationships and pockets and while stay in your own. It is enough to figure out your own.
That's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point. I actually noted that the fact that she started out comparing her relationship with this guy to his friend and that lady, down to, the other friend is paying all the bills and they going 50-50 and all of this stuff. Yeah. And I'm just listening to her and I'm like, that's a disaster right there waiting to happen. Cause I'm like, that's not your life.
Yeah, that ain't your life. That ain't even your relationship at that point. You're not even talking about like y'all.
Y'all know women do that. Y'all know women do that.
No, they do. I know people. I said people in general, I think, do that. But it's just like the thing is you don't know the danger in doing that is you don't know the whole situation.
True.
So see, while my man is over there paying all the bills, he might be knocking her out. But see, you don't know that. So see, all you see is the stuff on the surface that they let you see. And then now you want to take that surface stuff and that material stuff, and they living in a big house and he making a whole bunch of money. And you want to take that and compare that to your situation. But your guy might be nice to you. That dude might not be nice to her, but see, you don't know that. Yeah, so we definitely, so I agree with Nicole on that. We definitely have to be careful comparing our situations to somebody else's situation. Like, you don't know what's going on in that household. Yeah, they're not about to let y'all know everything. Yeah, when y'all see them, they're gonna be smiling. That's all you gonna know. So yeah, we have to be careful doing that. But yeah, somebody sent me that video, and I'm like, that video is definitely a curveball worthy video. Just listening to the situation, listening to how it played out. And I'm gonna be honest. The young lady, she had just got started. She said one line, and I already knew it was a wrap. And she said that guy told her, if we last a year.
Yeah, why you laughing, JR?
Nah, it's the way Mr. Press just came up with that one line thing. Oh, he's caught off guard.
I'm just out. Like I said, the young lady said a lot because that video is about 3 minutes plus. That young lady said a lot.
Payment. He called her a lease payment.
The verbiage. Like a
lease.
The verbiage.
She was repeating these things that she heard. She's not like connecting the dots. Like, he doesn't see you I don't think he recognized her personhood. A lease payment, like he's sex. You know, that's what you're there for. She doesn't want to come to terms with that. And what she had with her friend, that she's saying these things, she's probably her first time seeing the standard of what she wants, and it's being, I mean, she's basically seeing a reflection of the life she wished she was having with her boyfriend, should be husband. But I'm not gonna go so far as to say like what you inquire is, oh well, you probably is beating her behind closed doors, maybe, but that would be me making the assertion. For example, like I don't see everything that's going on between you and Chloe, but I'm going to make a really good assessment based on her appearance. She's no bruises on her face. I'm going to assume she's not being beaten. If I was getting a lesser treatment from my woman and you were my closest friend, I would make that comparison. Now you would say, well, just stay in your lane and keep focused on your relationship, but that's just not how human beings work. We all make some sort of comparison. So ideally, we want to just kind of stay in our own lane. But if I'm saying that you're getting the treatment that I don't know I should have, and that's what she was realizing, she's seeing the progression of what her future, her life is supposed to be. And it's like, yeah, she's not wrong about that. So that's why their friends are there. She's saying what she wants, and that's actually a good thing to want. Assuming that this friend is not beating on his wife, we're going to assume that's not the case, right? He's doing the right things, and she's like, wait, why is this not happening to me? So if she did not have that comparison, she would probably be just going along to get along. She would not have made a video about it because she would not have even known to talk about it because she would not have known that's what to expect. So he's her boyfriend, her baby father, had put one expectation in her mind, but she's saying something else that is supposed to be different. So, hey, she's realizing it very late. She's making these fantasies, talking about going to the Magic Kingdom. If he proposed to me, he's not going to do it. It's almost like she's rejecting him, even though he's already rejected her from the moment he saw her. So she wants to play this scenario in her head where, no, I'm the one that's going to reject you when you propose. But she knows in the back of her mind, if he hasn't done it yet, and we as men know it, it's only like a year, maybe 2 max. We know pretty quickly, within 3-6 months, we know fast. Oh yeah, no, you don't want to want. So it's not a question of, waiting 3 years or lease payment. Let's see how this goes. Let me pop a baby out of you first, and then let's see how. No, it's never going to happen. So she has this fantasy of wanting to, I'm going to reject the proposal. Nah, even if he did by some miracle, she wouldn't have rejected, and she would be wrong to accept it because she's already seeing his patterns, his behaviors. He wouldn't even be a good husband worth keeping. So she wants him to be something that he's not, and she wants a situation that isn't. So it just is what it is.
So I got a question to that, Joe, but I'm gonna come back. I know JR just came off. JR, you want to say something, man?
No, go on. I'll go after you.
No, I was just gonna ask this question. I say because I've actually asked this question before, and this particular video is touching back on this question again. And I'm, for the life of me, this is just a piece that I don't understand. Why would a woman be with a man to turn down his proposal?
Good question.
Yeah, I never understood that. And I said, I posed this question on Facebook a while ago.
Good question.
And here we are again with another young lady saying that if this man proposes, now don't get me wrong, I know there's some nonsense in this particular situation, but the mindset is still there. Why would a lady be with a man to turn down his proposal? Yeah, I need somebody to explain that to me. It doesn't make sense because I thought the whole point of getting with the man was to get to a proposal. So why would you get with the man to be with the man and then sit here and say, if he proposes, I'm going to turn it down?
To
it's
make
like,
him
so then
feel
why?
how she feels.
No, okay, so I get that. I get that in this scenario because I said there's some nonsense. There's some nonsense in there. So I get that in this scenario. I'm just trying to understand in general because we see that happen as well. Guys, because we have a lot of young ladies out here, and I'm sure you guys have seen them on all the dating shows and in the posts and all of that, but they're always talking about all these proposals that they get from these guys. So I'm like, okay, cool. So why are you with a guy that when this guy proposes to you, then you turn him down? Yeah, I need to understand that because it just doesn't make sense for the life of me. It just doesn't. Go ahead. You want to say something, JR?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think obviously with the question that you asked, I think it comes down to the timing. So once again, they want to be the controller. So if you don't propose to me in a time frame that I think is suitable, then forget it. You might as well propose. Then I'm gonna reject it because to me the time frame is not adequate enough.
But that still doesn't well, see, that's what I'm saying, JR. That even based on the time frame, that still doesn't make sense. So if a young lady takes on the mindset that she's got a time frame in mind, right? So she takes on that mind. So let's just say it's 2 years. So she says, okay, in my mind, if this guy hasn't proposed to me in 2 years, then it's going to be an issue, right? So if that's the case, then why is she just not leaving in 2 years? Like, why is she turning down his proposal? Like, see, that's what I'm trying. That's what I'm trying to understand. Because see, at the end of the day, at least from what I know of men don't just propose to females just to be proposing. So a guy's got to put some money away. He got to go purchase a ring. Essentially, he got to get his mind right. He got to go through a process before he goes and proposes to a young lady. So I'm struggling to understand that. Yep, the lady has also said, okay, I want to align with this guy. I want to be this guy's girl, eventually be his wife and so forth. Okay, so then he's now, okay, cool. I done got myself ready. I done put my little $9,000 away. I done bought her a little princess cut. I'm going to take out the Ruth Chris and propose to her. So I get the Ruth Chris. I drop down on a knee next to the stakes and I say, will you marry me? And then she say no. It's like, so why? Man, I don't get it, man. Chloe, I saw you about to say something. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think that, I hate to go here, but I believe that there's some truth here. I believe that women in their hypergamous nature are staying with these men past the point of where they realize they don't really actually want to be with them forever, but they don't have a better option at the moment. So they're staying with the man until they get into a situation where they have a better option or where he forces the issue. And he forces the issue by proposing. And they have no intentions of staying with this. They've already decided this man is not a forever man.
Bravo.
Not their forever guy. But it's a bird. What is it? A bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. Like, if I'm already with this guy, we have a decent enough relationship. Like, maybe we're even living together. And especially if you're living together, because now that means if she leaves, she has to have somewhere to go. She has to have a situation to leave, to go to. And if she doesn't already have that, or she needs to get that together, or she needs to, work on putting that plan together, then she's going to stay there to continue to get whatever benefit she's getting from that man, or getting from that experience, or getting from that relationship until it no longer serves her. And I think that what's happening is some of these men are thinking that she's still there because she wants to make the relationship work. And so he gets to the point where he's like, well, look, it's working. She doesn't have 100%, but she's got 80. That's enough for me. I'm going to propose. And the whole time she's like, I don't want to be with this man like that. And I just think I personally believe that not in every scenario, but I do believe that in a lot of scenarios, this is what's happening. And so then the women are forced to now to turn the proposal down. And you're wondering why she'd still be with the man for 5 years, 6 years, 10 years, and turn down a proposal.
He's a placeholder. So that's messed up. He's the backup guy.
Yeah, we call them placeholders now.
Yeah.
That's messed up, bro.
No, it's not messed up. It's Chloe has a great point. Men just have to understand what's really going on out here off the porch. I mean, if you got a happy relationship, you really are not experiencing this stuff. And so you're oblivious to it. Bravo to y'all. But placeholder penis is a real thing with these women. These women, they well, think of it from a logic. Everybody put on your logic cap real quick. So here's a person who really doesn't like a person but is pretending. Okay, my sister did this with her guy, pretending while she's secretly dreaming of the thug who hasn't talked to her yet. This is my actual sister, my actual green-eyed sister did this. So my brother-in-law is like, "Oh, I love this woman," and the whole time my sister's like, "Ugh."
Oh man.
Yeah, he got 20,000 in the bank for a 17-year-old. Yeah, he drives his own muscle car he built from scratch. He comes from a very solid family, but why can't Tank Top Tony just approach me the way I want? This Chloe is absolutely right. I mean, so you have some ladies who are just in this mindset that, I'm just going to deal with this person until I get what I really want. And then when it never comes, you know what? I'm going to have to sleep on it. You know what? I'm going to have to talk to my parents, but really I've already made a decision. You know what? I'm going to give Tank Top Tony one more try because I'm just going to turn you down. It's not about that. Let me flip it real quick to the guys. Because, see, I call these guys Vicky. I coined that phrase last night. These Vicky dudes, violent, insecure, childish mindset, always acting like a kid, always yelling. Vicky. These Vicky dudes do the exact same thing. Hey, you know what? I'm with this skinny girl, but I really want the big girl. But the big girl ain't paying me no attention. I'm going to get the sexual attention I can get. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I ain't getting what I really want out here in life. 5 years turns into 6 years. Why y'all ain't married yet? And he does the same thing. You know what? You must be cheating. Oh man, you know what? I ain't cheating on you, girl. Why don't we just break up? Do the exact same thing. And then that's they back on the market. So shout out to Chloe. Good point.
No, she was spot on, man. Like I said, I've been trying to understand this for a long time. Yeah, but I'm trying to understand this for a long time because I said at the end of the day, this is kind of touching back on the original video. I think ladies today are getting kind of fed up with some of the outcomes that they're seeing because it's affecting the ones who are serious out here, right? And I'm like, do ladies understand that this particular situation right here can scar a man? Like to the point where he ain't trying to get married no more. Yeah, if you have guys out here right now who get themselves to that point, yep, go get their money together, get situated, get their mind right, get prepared. And then it's like they get all the way to the point of committing or making a commitment to you via a proposal, especially after you've been spending time with this guy. This guy been investing in you. Then you come back and turn the man down. Yeah, but I've heard some of the wildest reasons. Oh, one of the most popular ones is, oh, we weren't compatible. And I'm like, so you didn't know y'all was compatible when y'all was doing everything else, huh? Like you didn't, the whole 2 years, 3 years, you didn't know y'all was compatible. So you didn't figure out you wasn't compatible until you proposed. Like I don't understand it. And I'm like, it just doesn't make sense. Because that's just like from the male perspective. If as a male, you're not looking to propose to a young lady to be playing around. Like as a male, when you get to the point of proposing to a lady, like that's because you serious, you trying to make something happen, you trying to build a family, You trying to have some kids with this young lady. You trying to do something. So like you're not playing around when you go to propose. I don't know no dudes out here that's playing when they go to propose to somebody. That's just in my little anecdotal circle. But I don't know no dudes who think like that, especially going out here buying $9,000, $10,000, $15,000 rings to just be playing. Like I don't know guys who do that. Yep. So I'm not sure why a young lady who's involved with that type of guy who's gotten to that point will be telling him no. Yeah, it just doesn't.
Right?
It don't make sense.
What
you want to say, Joe?
They're accepting the proposal. Like you said, there's a massive financial investment, and just the ring alone. And then he's probably setting up some sort of, oh, our first date was here. Maybe they do go to Magic Kingdom. So that's coming out of pocket too. And then there's the creative thought behind it. It's doing it in a clever way. Most guys don't just get on one knee and do it in their living room. No, there is some elaborate production. So he's putting a lot of creative and emotional energy behind it. And yet all the woman has to do is just show up to the event. So it's easier for a woman to just simply say, oh, no, thanks, or let me think about it. Whereas a man has probably put in months and time and effort and planning and thought, all for it to come down to one moment where she just says no. So it's devastating for him because he put so much money, emotional, spiritual. So it's like a lot of effort that the woman she just showed up. She came along for the ride. So she was a passenger. And so she's like, oh, no, I just get out right here. But he's the one that was driving the whole time. He made sure the car was running, the engine was running, and now she doesn't want to be there at all. So yeah, that's probably why they just like, oh no, never mind. But to your point, why do they do it? Like Chloe said, which I thought was brilliant. They're getting something out of it. He's a placeholder. She's waiting for something more, and he's getting a rude awakening at that moment, not any time before then. It's at that moment where she's forced to make that decision because she wasn't going to be honest with him prior to that proposal. She allowed him to go through that whole process, to spend all that money, all that time and energy for him to learn the truth of what she already knew long before he found out on that one day. That's evil. So
So now I got another question. Let me just go ask this funny question, and we're gonna get up out of here. I want to stay on here tonight. It's this holiday time up here. Let me ask this question. This is to everybody in the comments and the panel. Who plays more games, men or women?
Women. You know better than that. You know better than that.
You weren't gonna even lie about it. You just gonna come right out like that?
Come on, man.
I just want to see what y'all was gonna say, because I'm like,
only because there's no logic to when half of them do the game. Half of them do the game from let's see what happens when I light this match.
Oh, that's crazy.
Oh shit, the house burning. Help! Now they turn into victims. Help! Oh my God, I don't know how this happened. Now they turn into liars. Oh my God. What? You know what? Let me contact the insurance. Now they turn into scammers. The dude is too dumb to do half of this stuff. The dude,
right.
I'm gonna be honest. We just too. You know what, man? I did that shit, man. Golly, you know what, man? I ain't mean for that to happen. See, we too dumb. We ain't thinking about scamming, false reporting. We ain't thinking about none of that. You know, the girl, she ain't even got no fear of jail. She's like, oh my God, y'all arrested me? And then the white man lets her right out next weekend. Only because they ain't got no place to put her. Fun fact, the jail cells, the holding cells in your city, go check this out. I want y'all to do go to your local jail and do a say, hey, look, I'm doing a college report. How many holding cells are for the women and how many holding cells for the men? You'll be fascinated to find there's only 1/5 or 1/7 holding cells for the women, regardless of what city you're in. And there's like 200-300 for the guys.
Wow.
So
Wow.
they don't even have a lot of places to put women when they get arrested. That's why they give women tickets. So she done burnt up the house. They done found out. They done arrested her. And then they reward her by letting her right back out. So, hey, it's a good game on her side.
It's not funny.
That's wild. That's wild. No, I was just curious, man. I was just curious.
Wow.
Let me get this comment real quick. Then I'm gonna come to you, JR, then we out of here. See, Kenyatta said women are way more manipulative. Yeah, no, we talked about that before. The ladies came right out the gate and was like, yeah, it's definitely the ladies. So yeah, they took some accountability for that one, Kenyatta. So they took some accountability. All right, JR, it's on you, man, and we're gonna get ready to get out of here. Go ahead, man.
Wow.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna just go for one of the comments. I think somebody said both, and then they said women. Yeah. I was gonna say, I get where she's coming from with obviously the both of them and then the women, right? And I always say the reason why a lot of people think obviously women is because I always say this, like in today's society, women are deemed as, you know, evil or whatever it is for the things that they're doing or whatnot. But I say it's due to the pseudo power that they've been given, right? So if it wasn't for the pseudo power, then it would just be both men and women are evil in their own ways, rather than us actually sitting there and trying to make it out like, you know what, women are evil and men aren't evil. It's just that in today's society, it just makes women seem as if they're just more evil than men. But in reality, they're not.
I feel that. No, I feel that. Yeah, no, I'm sure. Like I said, I'm sure that there's a lot of that going on both sides. Yeah, I just always like to poll the audience just to see if, you know, everybody gonna be honest. But you know, we had a lot of honesty that came through, so I'm not mad at that. All right, let's say this holiday night. We ain't on y'all tonight. I'm gonna take some closing and we out of here. Top row, bottom row, then we gone. Chloe, you got anything you want to say before we get out of here?
Just that for me, the big thing for me, I think lately is as I've been a part of these conversations and as also as I have been watching a lot of these conversations, is I think that we have to be very careful that we don't let this gender war run away from us.
Right.
If I'm saying that correctly, I think it's getting away from us because it's getting to the point now where neither side even remembers what they were fighting for. Now we're just fighting. Like now we're literally just fighting. We didn't talk about this on our show, but just within the last, I think, week or two, I've literally seen a young man's whole entire life just ripped apart by social media because he got caught up in this war. And I just think that now we're so angry at each other, anybody can get it. It doesn't even matter if that person deserves it or not, male or female, anybody can get it. And I guess now that we're here, what's our goal? If now we're just fighting for the sake of fighting, then what's our goal? Because I thought that for men, it was to get women to finally understand where men were coming from, to give men a platform because they hadn't had one in so long, to give men a voice and a place to be able to air their grievances with other men. And also, hopefully, some women could clue in, right? I thought that was originally the point, like, because the goal was to still be able to bridge the gap so that one day we could try to find some type of common ground and maybe patch things up, understanding that everybody ain't gonna make it, right? But now I'm like, I just think we like fighting for the sake of fighting. And then there's so much money being made that now I don't even know if people are still personally interested in bridging that gap between the two genders. I don't even know if people are still as invested in wanting to try to repair the rift between us. I think we just enjoy fighting now, and it doesn't matter. There's no objectivity. And so now you have women calling men sassy, which was what our title. Men are now sassy because they have standards, the same standards that women have claimed they've had this whole time. Now we have situations where women are willing to become baby mamas, and they'd rather do that with or without a man, as opposed to just doing what they need to do to be in a healthy relationship. So they'd rather be alone than submit. And I just think it's just what's at the root of it is this war. And now we're just fighting. So I would just warn and caution anyone that be careful getting to the point where you're just fighting just to fight. Right. Be careful of that. Like, make sure you check your intentions.
That's real. That's real. No, I appreciate that right there. Cole, on you. You want to say anything before we get out of here?
Yeah. To what Chloe said, instead of all this bickering and yes, calling men sassy, all of that, like, drop the armor, the swords, all of that, and just communicate. Communicate what the issue is. I mean, we are adults at this point. Things have been done wrong for so long. Can we just listen, try different paths to get some of this stuff resolved? It's time out for it.
Facts. No, I agree with that. Appreciate that comment right there. JR, you want to say anything before we get out of here, man?
Yeah, I was going to say, once again, thanks for having me on. Dope conversation, good energy and whatnot. And I was going to go through what Miss Chloe said, right? And I said it last week about obviously both sides playing each other, whatnot, where we think, guys not marrying women having kids out wedlock and whatnot. In reality, we're both actually losing, and there's only a certain demographic that are winning, and they're the ones actually laughing at us. Like, we can laugh at each other and whatnot and point the fingers at each other, but we're losing. And that's what I always say, let's come back together, figure this out, because for the next generation, that's who we need to protect from these people. Where this society is going, it's going to crash if we don't work together, and they do not care. So if we come together and stand tall together, that's what they don't want, but that's what we need. If we stand tall together, this thing will work, and we can make this work and protect the next generation. These kids are wedlock. The kids aren't protected. Us lot not marrying you lot actually works for them because two separate households. And once again, if they're easy to, to keep me, locked with 10 handcuffs as a man, and you as a woman, they're using you to beat down the man, but you think that you're winning. Nah, the kid is next. That's what's happening now here. So let's stop this nonsense of, warring with each other, making a black man lose his job, hoping a black woman, if she's getting attacked, I'm not going to defend her and all that kind of things, like, or a woman in general. It's not what we need, man. We don't need it whatsoever. And I don't know if I'm meant to say or whatnot, but is happy 4th of July. I don't know. Is it a good thing, bad thing? I don't know.
Depending on who you ask, man.
I don't know.
Folks pushing Juneteenth now, so I don't know who. Depending on who you ask, man.
Yeah, I'm like, look, I don't celebrate this holiday.
Oh no, because I had the holidays.
I celebrated mine already.
Put it to you like this, man. Even if folks don't celebrate, somebody barbecuing something tomorrow, I'll tell you that.
Okay. Nah, but yeah, thank you anyway for having me on once again.
No doubt, man. Appreciate you coming on, man. C-Lay, so you.
All right, I'm gonna start off with something beautiful, man. We all got to be more romantic. We all got to be more artful. If you're over 35 and you still acting teenage, then there's something wrong. And this goes to the title, sassy. What is this thing of sassy? Women call guys sassy because they want guys to shut up when women are speaking. It's a technique It's I see it on some discussions where everybody's being polite, everybody's taking their turn to talk. Then a guy is saying something that a woman disapproves of, so she goes to her plantation training and she starts to interrupt the guy, knowing that one of the thugs is going to help her handcuff the guy, and now he tries to fight back, and she said, "You sassy," or "You zesty." You know, but I understand, some of these guys are really just trying to have a conversation with the community, but some of these guys are Vicky, violent, insecure, childish kids who are always yelling. If you're a mature man, you should not be having violent first tendencies. You should be intellectually defeating your opponent. You should not be insecure, calling each other names. You're too old to be childish. You got to stop acting like a giggly, 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 goo, like a kid. And you got to stop yelling all the time. That's a Vicky. It's going to get popular in a couple of years. I'm going to make it popular. But this sassy thing is just a technique to shut men up. I will say this, like I always say, you men created this community. This is why so many of you want to run to the other communities, because you see it's more discipline over there. You dudes gotta start being a little bit honest. Y'all crack jokes, y'all shaming, and now the women are being off code, and you're mad at that too. So we can change this community. We can go back to kings and queens. But if I start talking like kings and queens, you got to stop your bastard son when he starts cracking jokes. Man, what this nigga talking about kings and queens? Man, we niggas. You gotta stop that if you want the good stuff to rise to the top, because we cannot defeat undisciplined bastards. I'm sorry. I pass the mic.
There it is. There it is. Appreciate that close. Joe, it's on you, man.
To Chloe's point about the gender wars, yeah, it's definitely uniquely a Western thing. Well, I'm American, so this is, but from what I'm hearing from JR, this is also on his side of the country, or side of the world as well. So most places where it's westernized, this seems to be the issue, or the most prevalent. I don't know what this. I know what the solution is for me. I mean, I make money and I got a passport, but I know that realistically, for the vast majority of millions of men, they're stuck with this. They can't just like have a remote job and go out and explore their options. That's not even a reality. So knowing that that's not a reality for most of these men, you have a lot of predatory men who create things like red pill content, manosphere content. They're getting very rich off the backs of these men who are struggling in this culture and this society. And these same men are perpetuating that behavior, that man against woman or a woman against man. And even though some of it is true, they're monetizing it. So they're incentivized to poke and prod at the situation, not have any solutions, because there's no money in having a solution to the problem. Same thing with the women. You got the sprinkle lady, forget her name. She's monetized to put women against men and to tell them to go and get that money, girl. You a boss, babe. Just focus on getting a man with the bag, because she gets money from selling the same thing. So it's in the Western thing where it's sick-minded, where both sides are getting money and getting all these views and YouTube dollars and benefiting off the misery of the audience that they're claiming to be serving. And that's a Western thing. So if someone can afford to do it, which the majority can't outside of a vacation or two a year, then they just will have to go out and see what the options are. But I feel bad for, just speaking as a man, for a lot of men who aren't left with very many options. They're left to cherry pick the very few women who are decent, who are good, who have those qualities that they would find in a foreign woman, in a Brazilian, in a German, whatever, where the women are still, they still have their wits together, they're still feminine. And you have a lot of men, they see it, and we know it. It's like a moth to a flame. Oh, we got to get her, but she's only one person, so she's not going to marry 8, 10 other men who want her. So we know a good woman when we see it. The problem is that there's not enough of them who have that mindset, who aren't raised that way. And we know that because these type of women tend to get viral. They get, these clips, they spread like wildfire. And she's great. Or she's American. Wow. And she's black. Wow. It's an event because it's so rare. And they're so few. So now you have a lot of these men who are stuck with the women who aren't, who are going to give them issues, who are going to talk back, who are not going to be submissive, who's going to make submission conditional, all these different issues. And they have no choice. And again, they don't have the financial ability to go out of country for a long period of time to do anything about it. They don't have the prospects to do it. They shouldn't have to do it, but it seems like that's the quick solution option. You got some women say, well, just stay home and fix things here. Make it work here. Well, in the meantime, he's trying to make it work. 10 years past, 20, 30 years done past. He's not any further along in trying to make his situation work because he's trying to solve the community's problems. So he's now wifeless. Maybe he has a bastard child or two that he can't see because of child support and a contentious woman. Or maybe he just can't find a woman who wants him for him because he has to be a certain height, even though she wears heels. So you get to wear artificial height, but he can't. You get to be taller than him. So it's just like it's weird. But he's stuck with this. He has to work with this. This is what most men in Western America, in Europe, have to work with. And lastly, I would say, oh yeah, I think I did see a clip of that man. They called him, I think, Ninja Turtle, something like that, something derogatory. He had the audacity to stand up for himself and to speak back and to give his opinion, even though they was ragging on him. He said, okay, I'm going to do it back. So it was kind of like a tit for tat, but he gets the brunt of it because now he gets to lose his entire career. He gets to have his name dragged through the mud because how dare he talk back and be sassy, even though we can be sassy because we're women. We can be obnoxious. We can be rude and arrogant to this man, which is crazy to me. This big, strong, like, why would you wouldn't do that in a normal setting, but you feel comfortable doing that in a situation where you know he's not going to put his hands on you. But that's just how comfortable women have gotten, the disrespect. We can talk crazy to you, but you better not dare talk crazy to us. You better lie over and take this whip, and you're going to like it. And then he didn't like it, and he lost his job for doing the same thing that they did. So this is what a lot of men are going to be dealing with in a modern society. It's just he brought out the true character of a lot of these women. Now they can put on the facade. Oh yeah, I'm this person, I'm that person. It's like, oh, this is a nice little dating show. It's classy. They dress well. This is no. He brought out the realness in all of them. Every last one of them. Even the shy, quiet girl brought that one out of her too. It's just all a facade. It's all fake. So that's what he exposed, is that we're all having to deal with the facade, and it's not just behind the makeup. It's something else going on behind there, behind the makeup, behind the weaves, and lashes. It's something that's off. And a lot of men, those who can afford it, leave and say, well, I don't want to deal with it. So I'm fortunate that I can do that. But a lot of men have to kind of sift through it, poke and prod, rip off the mask, and then they get the monster that some of these women really are. And now what can they do? You just deal with it? Well, I still want a woman in my life. So, but now he deals with the consequences of such. He got the woman in his life, but now he's like, damn, I should never got with that girl. I should never got. Well, who else was you going to go to? That one girl over there who is a good Christian girl, maybe she got her life together. Yeah, she's taken. She, you're fighting for her. You and 10 other men are doing the same thing. It's just not, the quality isn't there. The quantity is there. The quality, what the solution is, I don't know.
No, I got you on that, man. I appreciate that close. I'll just say this real quick and we out of here. I saw a video earlier. I was going to play it, but I didn't end up playing it. But the young lady made a point, and she was just talking about the fact of, how we are disconnected in this dating and how much money to spend on these dates and all this type of stuff. But she made a point, and she's like, you're supposed to be looking for your friend. When you're in these relationships or dating these folks and being intentional, you really are. You're looking for your friend. Yeah, you're looking for your essentially your new best friend. That's what you're looking for. Yep, and I think, when she said that, for me, it was just very fundamental, foundational. Like, and it just feels like that's the stuff that we have just lost sight of. Yep, are we still looking for friends? Yeah, while we knocking down dudes because of their height, while dudes over here saying this stuff that they saying to these ladies in retaliation, like, are we still looking for friends when we out here dating? Yeah, when these guys are courting, are you still looking for your female best friend? When these ladies are out here dating these guys and talking about how much he should be spending, are you still looking for your male best friend? Yeah, the young lady in the video, she was spot on with that. Yeah, but I think those are the pieces, like I said, that we've lost sight of that are causing this dysfunction that we are living today. Yeah, losing sight of the fact that you are essentially looking for somebody to be your lifelong friend. Once you lose sight of that, that fuels a gender war. Yep, that fuels you not getting along with the opposite sex. That fuels you lashing out at each other. The women calling the men sassy. The dudes calling the women this. Like, that's what fuels all of that. Yep, losing sight of the basics and what's important. Yeah, so I wonder if we actually thought about that. If we got back to just looking for our friend. Yep, not having all these stipulations, looking for somebody with some good character, somebody with a good attitude, somebody we feel like we can trust, somebody we know that's got our back when things get ugly. Like, that was the stuff that mattered. That was the stuff that kept things strong. That was the stuff that kept folks together. Yeah, but it's like we backburnered that stuff. So I know it sounds simple, just looking for your friend, but it's important. Yeah, it's really important.
Corey, I got just one last thing to add to that about the friend. Yes, we're looking for friends, but from my experience, that can also backfire in terms of we want friend, but we also want more to friend. So then you learn sometimes as a man that you can't be the friend. You have to be or portray yourself to be something else that you're not to get something more than just friend. Otherwise, you get placed in that, oh, he's just a friend. And it's like, well, exactly. Isn't that what you want? It's like, well, yeah, I want that, but I also want this element. Okay, well then you be that element, but there's a price to pay for that. You get that other side of him. Now he's not your friend. So you have women who have their friend, their best buddies, their hangout buddies. Oh, my friend. And then you have the guy that she sleeps with. So it's like we want both. We want to be your friend, but we also are attracted like physically. But if we have to choose between one or the other, we're gonna say F friends. We just hey, I'm just gonna be this F boy. And that's like the spot that some women put a lot of these men in. You can't really be that friend. So a lot of those behaviors that we learn how to, like you said, how to treat a woman. Oh, you want to open the door and do these things and get that. It's weird to me how quick women would want to sleep with me and don't even know me, barely knew me for a day. And yet, in my past behavior, I would think, well, it's normal to be friends with women first. I mean, I would want to be, but it's almost as if they don't want to. So what am I to do? Am I to then be their friend and then turn down these opportunities for sex because I'm a man still? Or am I to turn down the sex and choose to be their friend and may not have a shot at having that romantic relationship with her? Because she is going to compartmentalize it too. She's going to separate it, not me. I want both, but she wants. Now it's not. Now, of course, you got some women who have their head on their shoulders, like you yourself and Chloe. I'm assuming that you guys are both friends and lovers, but you have a lot of men who are placed in the friends category, and they're hopelessly in a not lovers category. So they're like, well, I guess I got to be the lovers guy, and so it's weird how it has to be. We're almost forced to be in an either or, and you want to be both, and you hope to be both, and then as a consequence, you lose a part of yourself as a result of trying to be just a lover. So now you're sleeping around with the block. Now you abandon that part of you that was a friend to women. You're no longer a friend to women. You're just a manhole. So you see how that dynamic plays. We I don't know. That's what I want to say.
No, so I understand what you're saying, but there's two caveats to that, right? So first of all, I'm talking about a genuine friend. So some of the things that you mentioned, I said these are essentially, I'm gonna call those people opportunists. Yeah. So when a lady wants to friend a guy so that she can leverage that guy, she's not looking at you as a friend. So that's not the same thing. So that's you leveraging somebody. Yep, and that's the same with the guy. Don't get me wrong. I know all guys are guys, but when a man is being or wants to be a genuine friend to a woman, that's not the priority. Yep, that's not the priority. Yep, and the reason I'm saying this is because this used to be the fundamental. Yeah, me and Chloe, we were friends first. We were genuine, authentic friends first. Yep, and that's what builds strong foundations. See, now the stuff we doing today is friends with conditions. Yeah, you can be my friend as long as you're doing this. Yeah, you can be my friend as long as you're doing that. You have the guy perspective. You can be my friend as long as you're gonna give me some a little later after I help you out. See, that's not a friend. That's just somebody you trying to leverage as a friend. Yeah, see, a lot of people, man, Joe, they have lost being genuine. It is so much opportunist going on. There's so much leveraging and using and transactional and conditional. It's all this extra nonsense we done added in there outside of just being friends. If you just think back to when folks actually were genuine friends, you met that little young girl on the playground, y'all was swinging together. You wasn't trying to get in her drawers. That was your little buddy down the street. Y'all got cool. You always talk on the phone. She be telling you about these little knucklehead dude. That call himself liking her. You be like, nah, he ain't the guy for you. You wasn't trying to get in her drawers. You was trying to be cool with her. Yep, to the point where her mama was okay knowing she was going somewhere as long as you was around. Because she knew y'all was friends, for real. Now, down the line, that was y'all foundation as friends, and then down the line, it turned into something different. Okay, that happens. But that foundation was based on genuine friendship. Yep, and see, today, that particular piece, which is the most important, is missing. If you ask any of these married couples out here right now, it's one of the first things they're going to tell you, this is my best friend. It's one of the first things that's going to come out their mouth. Yeah, this is my best friend. This person know all my secrets. This person I had my back when I was at my lowest. You know what I'm saying? This person know how to talk me off the ledge. This person next to, I know I can always call this person when I'm in a bad situation. Ask any of these married couples out here. They're going to tell you the same thing. And I don't care if it's the young married couples or the ones who've been married for 50, 60 years. They started as friends first, not as opportunists first, not trying to leverage each other first. They started as friends first. Yep, and that foundational piece, which is key, is what we got to get back to. Yeah, the reason why this gender war is thriving the way it's thriving, because we ain't friends no more. We ain't cool no more. We don't like each other. We don't like what each other's saying. We don't like what each other stand for. Yeah, we competing with each other, which we shouldn't be doing. That's why this gender war, that's why it thrives the way it does. Yeah, we ain't friends no more. We ain't even trying to be friends no more. Yep, and that's key. Yep, that's always been the base of any successful relationship. Go ahead, Jordan. Let me get us out of here, man.
I'm just saying that a lot of what you're saying is beautiful, it's idealistic, but a lot of that I remember as a kid, elementary school, it gets lost. You get older, that's just not. Very few people keep and maintain that same innocence of, oh, she's my friend, he's my friend, and then it grows into something from there. In most cases, that's just not. That's like, I hate to say it, it's a fairy tale like situation. And I want to believe different. And maybe I will believe different when I go out of country, and I will next 3 months. And I'll see something different. I'll be able to reconnect to that. Oh, I remember how this was when I was 8 years old. Because that's what I prefer. But it's like, man, what is a man to do? You hit testosterone kicks in. It's like, yeah, and I like this girl, but I'm just gonna be her best friend and see her. It's like I want to be.
That's the problem. That's the problem, though.
All of it. I want it all.
That's the problem, though, Joe. That's the problem. Like, I think that we have allowed our desires to like outweigh our common sense, right? There's no way you can really get to know a person on a level to become a friend to them if you can't control yourself from wanting to jump in their pants. Like, it just doesn't work. Like, you have to prioritize wanting to get to know that person. You have to prioritize that, and your desire to be intentional with them has to be stronger than your desire to receive pleasure from them. Like, this is not just not just pointing it directly at you. This is in general. I see this being across the board. Like, right now, we want everything quick. We want everything convenient. We want everything right now. Our impatience is at an all-time high. We are not taking the time to create meaningful relationships, not even just romantic relationships. We're not taking the time to even be friends with people anymore. Like, we're not doing it anymore. Like, who got time for that? If you ain't somebody that I've known back in the day or been around a long time, then I ain't got no new friends. Okay, no new friends. We just don't even have the patience for it. So you really have to be intentional. Like, you have to prioritize wanting to get to know a person, whether it's romantically or not, above anything else. Because the drive right now for all of us is to be selfish first. That's really the driving force for us now. So we almost have to push back against that desire to be selfish. And I don't see that happening consistently for a lot of us. And I think that's why we're unable to build that foundation layer. Like, we're not able to build that because we're prioritizing everything else. So we don't have it. When it's time for us to actually be intentional with our relationships, whether it's friendships or romantic relationships, a lot of times we don't have it because we're prioritizing everything else first, even though these types of relationships are what feed our soul. But we're prioritizing everything else. And I think that's the difference, right? Like, we don't even meet people in the same way. I mean, the way we met, like, my husband and I, we met in a scenario where we could get to know each other. People don't even meet that way anymore. Like, now it's a lot of online, it's a lot of Instagram, it's social media. Like, so people are not even meeting in the same way anymore. So that point where you meet somebody and you're getting to know them as a person, you're in an environment that kind of promotes that, right? That's not even happening anymore. So now it actually requires guys that are in that scenario to actually work harder, to be more intentional. And I know that's asking a lot right now, because the way we move in the world is so different. But I think that's part of the problem, unfortunately. Like, some of these things that we're calling traditional, I get it. Some of these things that we're calling outdated, but they work. They've been proven to work. And I get it. I do understand that that's just not how some people were raised. We get that it's not how we move now. We get that people are doing things different now. But I have to ask the people who are doing it so different, because we don't do that anymore, is it working? Because from the outside looking in, it doesn't appear to be working. So maybe we should try something different.
Yep. Sounds straight simple like that. Straight simple like that. All right, we got to get up out of here, man. Shout out to my panel, Chloe, Coley IT, Shout out to you. Shout out to Joe. Shout out to JR. Shout out to C-Lay. He was on a little earlier. That was everybody on the panel. Yeah. Shout out to my panel for holding me down tonight. I appreciate y'all. Shout out to everybody in the comments as well. This is Kandid Konvos. We do the show every Wednesday night, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. We go live on YouTube. So definitely, if you haven't already, like, share, and subscribe. Also, do me a favor. Next time you join us, bring a friend. We want to get these great conversations to as many of our people as possible so that we can change our trajectory and get us back together. Well, man, shout out to everybody tonight. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your holiday tomorrow. And with that being said, everybody have an awesome night. We'll catch you guys next Wednesday.